Your one subscription can help make a needy person's life easier. 40% of this channel's earnings will be used to support and help those in need. Thank you for being part of this journey. What if one of Hollywood's biggest stars never became obsessed with being a star? What if behind the fame, the action movies, and the millions of fans was a man who simply wanted to keep moving forward? This is the story of Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon in 1964, but his childhood was far from ordinary. After his parents separated, Keanu moved with his mother and sister, eventually growing up in Toronto, Canada. As a young man, he loved hockey and dreamed of becoming a professional player. But life had another plan for him. He discovered acting, and slowly, almost quietly, he began chasing a completely different dream. His first screen appearances were small. There were no guarantees, no superstar status, no promise that Hollywood would ever notice him. But Keanu kept going. One role became another. One opportunity opened the door to another. And then, Hollywood began to take notice. The first big break in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Keanu started appearing in major films. But becoming famous didn't happen overnight. He was sometimes criticized for his acting style. Some people doubted whether he could become a truly great leading actor. But Keanu didn't allow criticism to define him. He continued taking different kinds of roles and continued improving. Then came speed. Suddenly, audiences around the world knew his name. But that was only the beginning. The Matrix in 1999. Everything changed. Keanu Reeves stepped into the role of Neo in The Matrix. The film wasn't just another action movie. It became a cultural phenomenon. Its ideas about reality, technology, freedom, and human existence captured the imagination of millions. And Keanu became one of the most recognizable actors on Earth. But behind the success, his personal life was becoming increasingly difficult. The pain behind the fame in 1999, Keanu and his partner Jennifer Syme lost their daughter, who was stillborn. The tragedy devastated them. Their relationship eventually ended. Then, just 2 years later, Jennifer died in a car accident. For someone who had become one of Hollywood's biggest stars, these were unimaginable personal losses. Yet Keanu continued. He returned to his work. He continued acting. He continued living. And perhaps that is one of the most powerful parts of his story. He kept moving forward without allowing pain to destroy his humanity. John Wick years later, another chapter began. In 2014, Keanu Reeves appeared as John Wick. The movie became a major success. And suddenly, a new generation discovered him. The man who had once played Neo was now one of the most recognizable action stars in modern cinema. But something about Keanu remained different. Despite enormous fame, he continued to appear remarkably grounded. He became known not only for his performances, but also for his humility and generosity. He has supported charitable causes and has spoken publicly about the importance of kindness and human connection. The real lesson Keanu Reeves' story isn't simply about Hollywood. It isn't really about The Matrix or John Wick or becoming famous. It's about resilience. Life gave him opportunities, but it also took things away. He experienced criticism, failure, loss, and heartbreak. Yet he continued. He didn't let success make him arrogant, and he didn't let tragedy make him bitter. He simply kept walking forward. And maybe that's what makes his story so powerful. Because sometimes the greatest victory isn't becoming famous. Sometimes it's remaining a good human being after life has given you every reason to become something else. Keanu Reeves didn't just become a Hollywood star. He became a symbol of resilience, humility, and quiet strength. And perhaps his greatest role wasn't Neo. It wasn't John Wick. It was simply being Keanu Reeves. Because some people become famous, but very few remain human.